Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to the latest edition of TimeTap's tutorials. We're talking today about course booking, which is our newest type of appointment reason. And that's going to be, it's similar to a class, except it's something that happens over the course of a period. So classes are a one-time instance where if you've got something on Tuesday morning at 6 and they're just coming in on Tuesday morning at 6. A course is something where maybe they're coming in for 6 weeks on Tuesday mornings at 6. So to illustrate this, we're going to talk about it in context of a lifeguard certification course. If you've ever gotten certified to be a lifeguard, you'll know that it's something where you're going twice a week for maybe 4 weeks. So in total, you have about 8 sessions that you need to be in, or as a client needs to be in order to complete the certification and get the certification to be a lifeguard. So we'll go through actually adding the course and setting up the time that it meets and looking at how booking works to manage that in this video. But if you have any questions, it's great to book a support call with one of our staff in order to go over it further. So from your main settings, services, and classes screen, you can use the button to add a new course in order to get this set up. So we'll go ahead and say it's a lifeguard certification. The course description would display under it in the booking flow, so kind of gives more context as to where it shows up. So I'm just going to type in all about lifeguard certification for now. And I'll show you where that shows up. Rescheduling I'm going to set to be strict. So that means you have 3 options here. You've got strict, flexible, and not allowed. Strict rescheduling is going to make it so that if someone misses session 2, they can only reschedule into another course's session 2. So they wouldn't be able to reschedule into any day. It has to be specific. So with lifeguard certification, some days you're in the classroom and some days you're in the pool. If you miss one of the pool days, you don't want to let clients reschedule and get into a class session for one of the classroom days. So this is strict. Whenever so they miss a certain day of the course, they have to reschedule for the same day in another instance of the course. So we're going to leave it as strict, and then flexible is what I was describing. Say it's a boot camp training where you have several different time slots going on. If they miss their 6 a.m. time slot on Tuesday, they can reschedule for Wednesday at 9 a.m. without any issue because it's kind of the same thing that you're doing each time. And then not allowed is exactly that. It just doesn't allow them to reschedule. Now, number of sessions to complete the course is how many times the course meets before it's completed. In this case, they're meeting twice a week for 4 weeks. So we're going to say it takes 8 sessions to complete that course. Each session, by default, I'm going to say the sessions meet for 4 hours each time they meet. Now, this can be changed as you're setting up the course set. So if you don't actually meet for that long each time, you can change that on a per session basis. Screening questions we go over in other videos, but that's essentially making sure that they meet the requirements to book into the course. And a private course would make it so that it doesn't show up on your public-facing scheduler. So we'll save that course. And once we do, we're going to have the course profile pull up, and we'll see the details of what we entered, but we'll also be able to go ahead and add in that first scheduled session, or set of sessions. So each time you create an instance of a course, it's called a set. So the set is, in this case, Tuesday, Thursday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. But it could also be a set that's Saturday, Sunday from 12 to 4. So you could have multiple sets going on at the same time for the same course, but you get to name them separately so kids can or clients can kind of see what they want to book. So we'll add in a couple sets here just to see the difference. So we'll go ahead and add that new set. And we're going to call this Fall Certification Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. So we'll see where that shows up. We're going to assign this to our California area location, and we'll put the capacity at 15 clients can register for this course. Now you can either you can leave this individually and fill in the dates that the course is meeting individually, or something a little bit easier is to fill it in on a repeating basis if you're meeting kind of the same time each week. So we'll say it's meeting weekly every 1 week on Tuesday and Thursday, and that starts on November 8th, and it's going to be 6 p.m. So we'll generate a preview of those set sessions, and we'll see it appear here. Now we've got every Tuesday, Thursday, starting on November 8th and ending on December 1st. So we'll save that set, and we'll have one set in our scheduled sets. So I'm going to add in one other set, and I'm going to call it this time Fall Certification Saturday, Sunday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. Now it's going to be a capacity again of 15. I'll fill these in on a repeating basis weekly on Saturday and Sunday, starting at 12 p.m. And that starts on the 12th, let's say. We'll see it fill in with the given session dates. And we'll save that set as well. So now we have 2 sets for this course. So let's take a look at how that's set up in your back office, and then we'll look at how it looks on the client's facing side. So we have our Fall 2 certification courses. You'll notice that each session in the set has a name. Now if you wanted to change these names, you can come into your time page of your course and you can update the name. So maybe instead of calling it session 1, we want to call it Intro to Lifeguarding. And then session 2 we want to call Life-Saving Basics. So on and so forth. So you see here you can change the name, change the duration for each given session. So if you wanted to change that on a per session basis, maybe the second session you meet for 6 hours, you can do that here. Probably best to do before setting up the set so that the hours apply correctly. But if we go back into the scheduled sets, we'll see that the session names are actually Intro to Lifeguarding, Life-Saving Basics, not that default session 1, session 2 name. So if that's important to you, it may not be. You can leave them as just session 1, session 2 if you'd like to. So we'll look at the set itself, and the course set details is where you'll see everybody that registers for the set will appear here. We don't have anybody registered for it yet, but that's going to be in the Attendees tab. And then the sessions that are actually in the set that compose it. So now if we look at our appointment screen and go through, we'll see starting the second week in November, we've got that Intro to Lifeguarding for Lifeguard Certification, so the first session in that set. If we keep going through, we'll see it on Sunday as well. So Lifeguarding Certification for for Lifeguard Certification. So the session name and then the set or the course name. And then we have our ones on Tuesday and Thursday as well. So that's how that's set up. Now let's look at actually adding someone to the course set. So we can go into the Add Appointment screen and add a one-time appointment and say we wanted to add them to Lifeguard Certification. Adding Jane Doe, and she wants to book into, you can choose either the Tuesday-Thursday set or the Saturday-Sunday set. Once we save that, when we save it from here, we'll see that it's going to take a second to actually process and put Jane in each of those course sessions. The resulting email will have all the session dates listed. It'll tell her which set she's in for that course, and you can just send that out or you can edit it from here if you need to. So we'll send the email, and on the resulting page we're going to see her set registration. So that's going to give us any of the emails that were sent out about the set, also the related appointments, so the different sessions she's in for the set. So we can view those individual appointments. We can go back to her set reservation, or we can look at the actual details for the session. Right now Jane is the only client in this set. We can, from the set session details screen, add another client. So maybe we also have John Doe. And so we can choose now, is John only going to be a part of this session, or are you going to add him to the entire course set? So I'm going to choose to add him to the course set, and we can save the appointment from here. And we'll see he gets the same sort of email that Jane got. And that's going to be all the different dates, times, and we can send that out to him. So once we do send the email, we're going to see that this session A has 2 seats filled, 14 seats remaining. But we can also click through and view the set itself. And we'll see that if we look at the attendees, we now have both Jane and John. So we can view their set registration details individually, open that up, that sort of thing. So now let's take a look at how this can be managed from the individual or the client-facing side. So if we come to, we'll preview our scheduler, and just now if I choose the California area location with Allison Barnes, I'm going to see I've got that Lifeguard Certification course that I can book into. If I choose that, I'm going to see I can either book in on Saturdays and Sundays or Tuesdays and Thursdays. By choosing that, I'm going to see the session dates and times fill in on the right-hand side with the names of the sessions beforehand. So let's say I'm going to choose that Tuesday, Thursday one this time. I'll put in my name. And now we'll save that. And we'll see back on the back office side of things, if we look at Tuesday and Thursday, we now have Marianne Miller in those sessions. So while Saturday and Sunday both have Jane Doe and John Doe, if we look at the set for Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll see for each session Marianne Miller's been filled in. And then we can look at the set itself and see that 1 seat's been taken up for each of the sessions. The attendees that are listed on the set is just Marianne Miller. So from there we can add more attendees if we wanted to, or send emails out to the attendees if there's something that needs to be said to them. That's generally how you're going to go about managing the course. If you've got any questions about how that works, feel free to reach out to our team and we'd be happy to answer them for you. But essentially it's similar to a class, but the classes all have requirements to meet or to have gone to so many sessions of the class before it's considered completed. So Lifeguard Certification is a good example. A lot of boot camps run this sort of 6-week program. That might be something else to look at. But again, if you've got questions, reach out to our support team.